show is brought to you by Safety FM.
The following program is rated MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Well. Anyways, it does not matter who the host is. Man, it is dark. Let's go a little bit brighter. It's dark now. The wait is over. Wow, that started off early. So here we are. We are broadcasting live from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming across the multiverse that we normally refer to as Safety FM, just in case if you were wondering. So just in case, today's Tuesday, August the 10th of 2021, day 222 of the year, in case if you had forgotten on what day it actually was, because, you know, that's kind of a big thing and a big part of what we talk about. In only 143 days left to go. As I was saying before, I was really interrupted by myself. We are broadcasting live from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, coming across the multiverse of Safety FM, and then we are broadcasting with our friends and colleagues and all that fun stuff over there.
Radio.
So, yeah, hanging out at the bigs of the radio and all that other kind of fun stuff. So don't worry about that. So let's get moving and talking and all that fun stuff. So did you have any kind of fun in the overnight? Did you do anything cool, anything you were passionate about, all that kind of fun stuff? You know, it's been interesting because being in Orlando, we get to see a little bit of all that happens inside of the area and all that fun stuff. And apparently that's my default to lingo words today is fun stuff. But we're seeing a lot of things going on, and they're talking about everything happening. So last night we had the world of professional wrestling in town coming about, doing some things there. We also had some other stuff going on in regards of different concerts that we get to see in the general area. Oh, that's good. That pop in and pop out and all that fun stuff. So it's just been an interesting time for transitioning and all that and what is going on. So we're going to talk, of course, today about COVID, because that's what we end up talking about all the time. We're going to talk about some other stuff that is going on inside of the world. So don't worry about that. So let me start off what we normally would talk about on a Tuesday, and let's start talking about what is trending in regards to the world of music. So here you go. Top 5 songs according to iTunes. At number 5, Jason Alderan and Carrie Underwood, I Didn't Love You. If I Didn't Love You. At number 4, The Kid and Justin Bieber would Stay. At number 3, The Weeknd would Take My Breath. At number 2, Ed Sheeran, Bad Habits. And at the number 1 spot, Walker Hayes with Fancy Like. Now coming in on the category of Spotify, at number 5, Olivia Rodrigo with Good For You. At number 4, Ed Sheeran with Bad Habits. At number 3, Lil Nas X with, it doesn't even say, what is the name of the song? It doesn't even say that, it doesn't even say the name of the song. That's funny. I guess it's Industry, baby, because that's the one that's been tracking. Manskin with Begging at number 2, and then The Kid and Justin Bieber would stay at number 1. So here you go. Hey, you back? So am I. Well, good to know that you're back. I'm back, so we're back together. That's some good stuff. So anyways, let's get the feature rolling right away. We'll bring in our friends at Feature Story News, have them talk about what is going on inside of the world of news, and we'll get that moving, grooving, and all that other fun stuff, because those things are always important. So let's get that going right now.
Here is the news on the Radio R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Chris Jones. One of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein's accusers has started legal action against Britain's Prince Andrew. Virginia Guifra filed the civil suit at a federal court in New York, claiming she was abused by Prince Andrew on 3 occasions nearly 2 decades ago. The Duke has always categorically denied the allegations. Deborah Blum, an American attorney, says it's a civil case rather than a criminal one.
The claims might be too late for a criminal prosecution. That statute of limitations may have expired. It would also be difficult to get Prince Andrew into court in the United States to face criminal charges. There's a different procedure for a civil claim, which this is, so he will have to face these charges.
A Canadian citizen jailed in China on the charge of drug smuggling has lost his appeal against a death sentence. Robert Schellenberg was sentenced to 15 years jail time in 2018. He denied the charges and appealed. But in 2019, a Chinese court ruled that his punishment was too lenient and was given a death sentence. Unknown gunmen have kidnapped a Swiss national in Ogun State, southwest Nigeria. Kidnapping has been on the rise in the country despite the government's efforts against it. Our correspondent Phil Ihaza reports from Abuja.
Police authorities in Ogun State have confirmed the incident, saying that a Swiss national, Andred Beta, and his Nigerian driver, who is simply identified as Ifeanyi, were seized by gunmen as they were coming from a farm at the weekend. Switzerland authorities have also confirmed the incident in a statement by its Department of Foreign Affairs on Monday. Kidnapping for ransom has increased across Nigeria, mostly in the northern region, as more than 1,000 students have been abducted since December last year. President Muhammadu Buhari has given marching orders to the country's security agencies to find the perpetrators and rescue all missing victims, including the Swiss national and his staff.
And India's reported its lowest daily COVID-19 tally in 5 months. Experts say this is due to lower testing during the weekend and warn that a third wave may be just around the corner. Ishan Gerg reports.
India's daily caseload fell to just 28,000 on Tuesday, a massive drop from the record peak of 400,000 in May. But some are attributing this to lower testing. India is testing an average 1.5 million people a day, only a fraction of its overall testing capacity. Experts say this drop in cases may only be temporary though, especially as there are warning signs that infection rates are rising in at least 8 states. There are concerns that relaxing COVID-19 restrictions ahead of the upcoming festive season could result in a massive wave of infections. Statistical models predict that it could be smaller than the second wave but bigger than the first one, which means that it could still result in thousands of deaths every day.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks. Today, the frustration of climate change activists over yesterday's landmark report by the UN's Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres himself called it a code red warning for the world about the damage human behaviour is doing to the environment, some of it now irreversible, according to the report's authors. For those who have urged action from the climate change trenches for years, the report sparks particular emotions.
Sort of total despair and total rage. I haven't thought about much else all day.
Roger Hallam is one of the co-founders of Extinction Rebellion, a global environmental movement that uses civil disobedience to try and draw attention to the issue.
15 years ago, we had an extreme weather event in Wales. It rained every day for 7 weeks. I lost all my crops. I was a bit of a happy-go-lucky sort of guy, and then it dawned on me that this was something structural. I've been waiting for those 15 years for governments to wake up to their responsibilities and stop the mass death and mass destruction that's now effectively locked in.
He says he doesn't feel vindication so much as frustration that politicians have failed to act. And there are many voices this week suggesting that the UN's report is a final wake-up call on global society to try and head off disaster. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap our top stories, one of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein's accusers has started legal action against Britain's Prince Andrew. A Canadian jailed in China on the charges of drug smuggling has lost his appeal against a death sentence. Unknown gunmen have kidnapped a Swiss national in southwest Nigeria. And India's reported its lowest daily COVID-19 tally in 5 months, but experts say a third wave could be just around the corner. That's the latest feature story news. Chris Jones reporting.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. And they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother. We can do this together.
All right, let's go.
Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't? Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No.
Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
You will rock this.
To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the right seat. Cool. Very cool. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
You know how sometimes you're out and about and sometimes you have to access a report, maybe your bank account, maybe something that's important to you, but you don't want other people to be able to access it? I know you're probably sitting there for a moment going, well, why don't you just go into incognito mode and use that instead? Well, let me tell you something real quick. Incognito mode does not hide your activity. It doesn't matter what mode you use or how many times you clear your browser's history. Your internet service provider can still see every single website you visited. And that's why even when I'm at home, I never go online without using ExpressVPN. It doesn't matter who your internet provider is. It can be Verizon, Comcast, or even AT&T. The ISP in the U.S. can legally sell your information to ad companies. ExpressVPN is an app that reroutes your internet connection through their secure servers so your ISP can't see the sites that you visit. ExpressVPN also keeps all of your information secure by encrypting 100% of your data with the most powerful encryption available. Most of the times, I don't even realize I have ExpressVPN on. It runs seamlessly in the background and is so easy to use. All you have to do is tap one button and you're protected. ExpressVPN is available on all of your devices, phones, computers, even your smart TV. So there's no excuse for you not to be using it. Protect your online activity today with the VPN rated #1 by CNET and Wired. Visit my exclusive link at expressvpn.com/safety and you can get an extra 3 months free on a 1-year package. That's expressvpn.com/safety. expressvpn.com/safety to learn more.
You are listening to something magical. You're listening to the Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so now we got Luces de Nuevo. Okay, 15 minutes past the top of the hour. You and I are hanging a lot of stuff going on in the box here. Let's see. So let me make sure that I'm clear. I'm clear on this. That's funny. I don't know what's funny. ExpressVPN, I love it. Blah, 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 blah. Any game tips? No, not really. Always a good time here. Oh, good to know. So I want to make sure that I'm clear on something because something happened last night. So I haven't really done much on LinkedIn in regards to like updating profile and all that. And last night I decided to go ahead and update the profile. In saying about how we're hosting the show now on RadioBig.fm. And we've been doing it now for almost the whole length of a pregnancy. Yeah, a whole length of a pregnancy. Not a joke as I say that. And I will tell you, more people came out of the woodwork about, hey, congratulations on your new position with Radio Big than a good chunk of things. Oh, here you go again. Congrats on your new position. It's not a new position. I've already been here for some time. So there you go. So, no, not a new position. I've already been here. Thank you, though. I appreciate people being so kind and celebrating with me, but it's not new. I've already been around it for some time. You know, these people.
Radio Big. USA, Canada, UK.
Yeah, so I've been hanging out there for some time. So thank you for the people that have been sending me private messages and congratulating me and all that kind of fun stuff. Long time ago that occurred. But if your radio station is looking, just kidding. So let's continue talking real quick about some other things that are going on inside of the world real quick. Here we go. More than 30 Chicago police officers ignored the greeting from Major Lori Lightfoot over the weekend at the hospital where the officers remain in critical condition. As previously reported, Officer Ella French, 29, was shot and killed during a traffic stop on Saturday night while her partner was critically injured. When Lightfoot approached the officers, they turned their back on her, an eyewitness told the Chicago Sun-Times. The father of the critically injured officer gave the mayor an earful blaming her for what happened. Dozens of shooting and incidents took place in the Windy City over the weekend, leaving 13 dead and 73 injured. So there you go. A lot of stuff always going on when it comes to that standpoint inside of the world of Chicago. Let's continue talking about some other things. The Dixie Fire in California is now the second biggest in the state's history. Cal Fire reports that the blaze has scorched about 463,477 acres of land in Northern California and is the second only to the August Complex Fire, which ravaged the state a year ago. The Dixie Fire, which stated, but I'm sure it started on July the 13th, matter of fact, it was reported being 13% contained over the weekend. The cause of the fire still remains unknown. Good morning, Charlie. How are you doing this morning? So just in case, because I know that this gets confusing because it sounds like I'm just randomly going off on some other thing. If you come out and hang out on the box, meaning that you're on a social media platform and we're broadcasting there, means that we're also streaming. So you can actually jump in, say something inside of the middle of that, or you can actually come to the radio station site, safetyfm.com or radiobig.fm, and come and do some things inside of there. The easiest thing is that if you have your normal cell phone and you want to text over, you can go to you can dial in or text over at 866-930-SFM1, 866-930-SFM1. So just for information purposes along those lines. Is this your dream job? That's a good question. So are you talking about the new position that I've obtained? Is that my dream job? Or are you talking, or are you asking me, is this my dream job of being on the radio? I've always wanted to be on the radio. So I guess you can say to an extent, this is my dream job.
You are listening to a radio god. What? This has to be an error. That host is not a radio god. Anyways, this is the Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Okay, an FBI agent from Puerto Rico is believed to be the first black woman to train for any of the Bureau SWAT team. The agent, who has only been identified as Ty, will be starting it as a new operator training school, a 10-week course that prepares trainees to SWAT field operations, according to the FBI. If she passes, Ty will join the San Juan division of SWAT team and a probationary member. She will then undergo more training, and be officially certified. So hold on. How come I already know something about somebody in the SWAT team? I don't feel like I should know that. That should probably be something that I am not aware of. I mean, I'm just guessing here. It would probably be a good idea for me not to know that, opposed to knowing it. I mean, I'm just guessing. Just a wild guesser on that one. Anyways, let's continue talking about some other things real quick. London Tower Bridge was stuck in a raised position yesterday afternoon, traffic on both sides of the river. The City of London Corp attributed the problems to technical issues. As of 6 p.m. London time, the arms were still standing erect. The 127-year-old drawbridge connects the northern and southern parts of the British capital. It opens about 800 times a year to allow large ships to pass through. So there you go. That's kind of an interesting Iggy if you think about it. You're getting stuck on one side of it. Where is the station based? That's the question coming in about the radio station. Where's the radio station based? It's based in Orlando, Florida. So thanks for asking that. I probably should stay focused sometimes because I can definitely, as you can see, I can get stuck inside of reading the box comments relatively easy here. Anyways, let's continue talking. Let's talk real quick. Let's talk about what was going on with the stocks yesterday. And I really think that on that one, we should probably bring in Johnny of the Smalls because he'll have a better knowledge base than me on that. So let's get that started right now.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Tuesday, August 10th, 2021. The market tried to set a new high Monday, but struggled throughout the day to make any movement at all. The S&P 500 opened just shy of an all-time high, then spent the day hovering below that level to close with a small loss at the end of the session. Technically speaking, the index looks like it's at the peak of a rally that has lasted since last November when the earnings outlook began to turn positive. Now, nearly a year later, the market looks like it is overextending and set up for a major correction. While the peak of earnings season is over, this week still has quite a few hurdles for the market. There are dozens, if not hundreds, of small and mid-cap names on the earnings calendar with risk embedded in everyone. The key report for the week comes on Thursday in the form of Disney. If Disney is able to outperform the market expectations, it's possible the S&P 500 could move up to set another new all-time high. You can get the inside track at marketbeatminute.com.
Okay, thank you, Johnny Smalls, for that one for sure. So here we go. Here's what I found on my end. The new trading week brought a mixed results on Monday as the Dow fell 106 points, the S&P dipped 4 points, and the NASDAQ rose 24. Better than expected jobs reports sent the dollar to the fourth month high against the euro. The strengthening dollar was blamed for the drop of the oil prices as crude oil dropped almost 3% during the session. The Moderna stock surged about 19% on Monday, and positive news published suggesting that the virus shot will be continued on strong demand. Well, I would think so with everything going on with that bad boy. That's for sure. Are you done with safety? Is this a legit question? Yeah, this is a legit question. Okay, are you done with safety? LinkedIn user, I don't know who you are. Just a little FYI. No, I am not done with safety. Thank you. This is the Rated R Safety Show. And I am not done with safety. It is the question coming because of the new position thing. I mean, it's mind-boggling to me. I will still be doing the safety stuff. I will still be doing the radio stuff like I've been doing for over 9 months now. That is not changing. That the love of this is not changed. I like John. Okay. I like John too. I like Johnny Smalls too. I'm excited. Good morning, Nadia. Let's see. And then what's this? What's this one? India misses. Yes. Not sure what's going on inside of the box. So always some cool stuff, some fun times, and some moving going on for sure. So let's get into this. So this was breaking news yesterday. This was all over the place. In case if you were looking, I get to watch you more. Were you watching? Well, I would hope so. I wasn't here last week. I have to tell you, this is becoming incoherent conversation for the radio listeners because it's just like I'm talking to people inside of the box. So if I start saying stuff that doesn't probably make some sense to you, that's exactly what's going on. I'm talking to some box people. So not that they're boxy, just saying that they're In the box. Okay, so let's talk about this because this was breaking news all over the place yesterday. Members of the U.S. military will be required to get the COVID-19 vaccine starting next month. Under the plan laid out by the Pentagon and endorsed by President Joe Biden, all troops will be required to get the vaccine as a necessary step to maintain military readiness. The Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said that the mid-September deadline could be accelerated if the vaccine receives final FDA approval. The decision comes more than a week after Biden told defense officials to develop a plan requiring troops to get the vaccine as part of a broader campaign to increase vaccination for federal workforce. Worth noting, the CDC reports that the U.S. is averaging about 108,000 new infections and 700,000 vaccines a day. So there you go. Some interesting stuff about that. Now, yesterday, we spoke for a brief moment, if you recall correctly, that there was being some rumors circulating that the religious side of the equation no longer wanted to participate in the vaccine gimmick. I shouldn't call it a gimmick because it's not a gimmick, but didn't want to participate with getting a vaccine. And the reason behind it, it was actually told to us by Jim Posel based on information that he had acquired, that it was related to that there was fetuses. Yes, I said fetuses of babies inside of there. Supposedly back from like the 1980s, according to what Posel was saying. So we did some research and got some info about this real quick. And we went, through the research panels and looked at some of the stuff that Cincinnati's Children, their .org had listed on their stuff and what they were talking about. And it's kind of an interesting one because here's the thing that they had talking about it. It says COVID, so they have like a truth and false statement. And it says COVID vaccines contain human stem cells. And they say that it's false. It says none of the vaccines contain human cells. The Pfizer and Moderna vaccinations are pure mRNA that was made in the lab. The process does not use cells at all. The AstraZeneca and the other vaccine use endurovirus that brings spike of protein into their cells. Viruses need to grow in cells. After this sort of medication is used for the AstraZeneca and the Genesis vaccines are grown, the viruses are collected from the cells and then purified. So there only is a virus, no human cells. In the AstraZeneca Genesis vaccine, and then the initial cells of the AstraZeneca vaccine come to human embryonic kidney cells. However, those cells are obtained by over 60 years ago, so there are no human cells in the finished product of the AstraZeneca or the Genesis vaccine at all. So I'm sure that was as clear as mud. So hopefully that will help out with some of the information right there.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Oh, I'm almost scared to ask that question. So we got Bear Trap saying that he's seen the coolest bird. I'm sure that I'm going to get flipped the bird with asking that question. Anyways, let's continue talking. It is 29 minutes past the top of the hour. India's most volatile volcano erupted on Sunday in the island of Java. So let's see. The volcano unleashed clouds of hot ash as well as a series of flows of mixtures of rocks, debris, lava, and gases. Reported spokesperson, I'm going to butcher for the name here, for the Yogyakarta Volcanology and Geological Hazard Mitigation Center. Several villages nearby towns were blanketed with ash. The volcano erupted back in 2010, was one of the last time, killing about 347 people. So just in case if you wanted to know. Scientists recently revealed that the two prehistoric lion cubs that were found frozen in the banks of the Siberian River, Boris Brzezinski found the first cub. It was a male nicknamed Boris. How the hell do you know that it was nicknamed Boris? Seriously. How did you know that? In 2017, he discovered the second cub as a female nicknamed Sparta. In 2018, just 50 feet from the first cub, according to the Eco Watch, researchers found at the Stockholm University called Sparta the best preserved Ice Age animal ever found, adding that she even had the whiskers preserved. Boris, on the other hand, was a bit more damaged, but still pretty good. The team believes that the cubs who were around at the same age when died may have been siblings. Worth noting, the cave lion went extinct around 10,000 years ago. So anyways, let's talk a little bit more about some other information going on real quick. Americans are driving fast these days. Well, no shit. When you start having speed limits of 80 miles per hour, of course they're going to drive fast. Hi, Texas peeps. The latest data, highway deaths, shows that in 2020 saw the most deaths in more than a decade, despite fewer vehicles on the roadway because of the pandemic. The higher death tolls are caused by speeding and drivers being under the influence of drugs and alcohol, along a slight decline in use of seatbelts. Fast forward to the summer of 2021, officers across the country say that drivers are not slowing down. In California, tickets issued for speeding in excess of 100 miles per hour from January to June doubled the pre-pandemic levels, and the number of tickets for reckless driving also increased. The same was reported in New York State. So there you go. Some crazier stuff going on outside of there as we are talking. And we kind of knew that this was going to come about because people are getting so used to not having to do anything in regards of much. You know, and I'm talking about the whole aspect of driving and how they're doing things. Is that a sign of you falling asleep, bulldozer? It looks like it. So let's talk about some other things real quick. So if you start speeding, of course, you have to start looking at this from some different levels. Anytime you start actually going above 55 miles an hour, there is a multiplier. And I mean a multiplier of your chance of dying in a car accident goes higher every time. Now, by me being a former defensive driving instructor, I'm very familiar with that. You get to the point where you're going 85 miles per hour, and it almost goes 12 times higher than actually going at 55 miles an hour of your chance of dying inside of a vehicle. Incident is what we'll call it here. Anyways, a Singapore infant dubbed the world's smartest infant at birth has finally gone home after a year in the hospital. Krek Young Kwaks was just 7.47 ounces and 9.5 inches long when he was born 15 weeks early on June 9th of 2020. Doctors gave him the limited chance of survival, according to the spokesperson of the Singapore National University Hospital. The child was discharged on Saturday with much healthier 14 pounds. The previous record of the smallest baby was a girl born in the U.S. in December of 2018, with only being 8.6 ounces. Yes, 8.6 ounces. I know. Tell me about it. A lot of craziness there on that particular one when you start thinking about it. Anyways, let's get into our main story because I think it's time to start talking about it for sure.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
So here we are, 34 minutes past the top of the hour as we are talking first thing in this lovely morning if you're in the U.S. So I know that what you do and I do for work, that what we do for work is try to make sure that people make it home safely. We try to make sure that people are okay in regards to whatever they're doing. We try to make sure that people don't die. We try to make sure of all kinds of interesting tidbits of things. There is no doubt about that whatsoever. But it's starting to get more and more interesting now. It's starting to get where, I understand people are tired of being locked up. People are tired of wearing masks. People are tired of all kinds of fun stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that we're not tired on the other side as well. But it's getting tiring. But we have to start thinking as health and safety professionals about some of the things that we do and some of the things that we encourage. Now, listen, we can argue all day about the Delta variant and the good, the bad, the ugly, the cases, the people passing, and all that other fun stuff. But at what point do you start taking a look around once again? And do you start saying, maybe it is not time yet to start having tons and tons of people together locked up. And what am I talking about? Listen, I can understand going to open air venues. That somewhat makes sense to me in regards of doing that. But if we're trying to put on safety events again, where we're doing all of these things and we're having people locked up in these large halls, speaking, talking, hanging, and all that fun stuff, isn't that going to become a problem? And as a safety person or a safety pro, I know that we're supposed to be pushing the envelope in regards to trying to get people to go out there and do some stuff. But isn't that going to become weird all of a sudden if we start becoming part of the problem? By saying, hey, come to my event. Now it's time to do some other stuff. But also at the same time, we're seeing a variant that's out there that we're seeing that it's at a very high risk level. Now, hey, listen, I'm not saying change your whole life about this, but it's something to think about. Because how can we sit back as pros in the world of safety and put people's health at risk to participate at an event? How can we put people's health at risk when it comes to different aspects of what's going on? I agree with you. Two wrongs don't make a right. Yes, I agree with what you're saying there. For sure. But I mean, here's the thing. We can't tell people, go out and do the gig, and then all of a sudden go back to our locations and start, selling health and safety. And I look at this all the time and I go, okay, I understand that you want to make money off of your event. I understand that you want to do this large in-person event where you could be the large group gathering and blah, 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 blah. But is it worth the risk? Is it worth it? Because we can't be safety professionals and say, hey, let's care about your safety and your health and then do something like that. I'm just saying. And I know some people are not going to like that. And I know that you're tired of virtual events. I'm tired of virtual events to an extent. But we have to start thinking about these things on what's going to make the most logical sense on what we're doing. So do you think, yes, you think that it's time to do an in-person event? Do you think that we are okay with going to do that now? Or is it still time to hold off? Now, listen, I'll tell you. I was interacting with an organization that said that they were going to have a virtual event next month, and then they decided to cancel it because of all of the in-person events that were starting to take place, which didn't make sense to me. And now we're starting to see these hybrid events take place, and I just don't know what the right thing is. I mean, at what time do you go ahead and say, let's take the risk in going out and about? Or do you continue to sit back and go, okay, maybe it's still not time? I don't know. There's a lot of stuff to think about there. I can only sit here and go, it's kind of a hard thing to say, listen, we are health and safety professionals, and we're telling our organizations not to do X, Y, and Z for the time being because of health-related issues. But hey, I'm going to go out to this big event and meet with a whole bunch of people and be okay with it. It becomes a weird conversation. You have to make up your mind on which is the correct one to do. Something to think about. But like I've always said, what the hell do I know? Just a guy behind a microphone.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So Mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. Visit 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Do you have a claim and not sure where to turn? Coastal Claim Consultants are professionally licensed and bonded public insurance adjusters employed exclusively by you, the policyholder, to represent you after sustaining an insured loss. They assist policyholders in all aspects of processing the claim, working closely with the insured to provide the most equitable and timely settlement possible. They will provide you with comprehensive service, anything from inspecting the loss site, analyzing damages, compiling claim support data, reviewing applicable coverages, assessing replacement costs of damages, and negotiating your settlement. The adjusters at Coastal Claim Consultants will evaluate your claim for no upfront cost whatsoever. Coastal Claim Consultants' fee is based on contingency contracts and are paid when the insurance company sends you a check and it's in your possession. Coastal Claim Consultants are licensed to assist you in the following states: Florida, Texas, Oklahoma, Georgia, and South Carolina. For more information, go to coastal-cc.com. That's coastal-cc.com. For more information, lighting the way to recovery. Coastal Claim Consultants.
I'm Jeff Finer. Most people don't know that most of the billions of dollars that I've won in the last 42 years since becoming a trial lawyer didn't go to me. It went to the thousands of clients that hired me to be their warrior. That's my passion. That's what drives me. And nobody does it better because I was born for this.
You are listening to something magical. You're listening to the Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, there you go. 44 minutes past the top of the hour. And this is Beach Memories. So there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Yeah, 45 minutes past. This song, Beach Memories by Sumwave, available on Spotify and iTunes. So what are you thinking here? Let's bring that down for a moment. Anyway, so some good stuff always going on. Thanks for all the love inside of the box taking place, because that's always some fun stuff. Always some fun stuff going on inside of there. Anyways, box is open if you're on the streamer. If you're taking a listen and want to shoot a message across, you can actually go, you can go to what is it? I always love when I mess this up. 866, or you can text into 866-930-SFM1. That's 866-930-SFM1. You can shoot a message across right there. Always some fun stuff going on inside of that particular world of what we have going on. Had to take a look on always what's happening, because that's, that's important. So 866-930-SFM1. Shoot across the text. We'll take a look at what you have to say, and we will go from there. Go from there. Always some fun stuff. Anyways, to continue talking about some other things. Hold on. Did we get something in? Hold on. I think we got something. Hold on real quick. I always love the recordings when people call in. Let's take a listen. Sounds like a phone ringer.
Hello, and thank you for calling.
I guess it's nada. I guess it was nada. We'll leave it at that. So let's continue in regards of some other stuff. So what do we got going on here inside of the world of the news? So work from work. Have you heard about this one? Yeah. As a way of encouraging to the return of in-person workplaces, some companies are wooing workers with some pretty sweet perks, luxury vacations by private jet, cash prizes of $10,000, and even a Model S Tesla are being raffled off at random to vaccinate. In-person staff of global real estate group CoStar, New York-based digital marketing agency W Promote perks included catered breakfasts, lunches, free snacks, after work hours for the returning staff. Health food with fun twists is also an initiative for some places at Tenakai Capital Workspaces, which recently rolled out a special vending machine offering meals such as roasted salmon, cauliflower, feta with salad, at just the touch of a button. And one company found that a way to offer to workers who are concerned about returning to the office means less time to golf. Newman Real Estate is installing a high-tech virtual greens used as the likes of Tiger Woods, which costs about $55,000, the use of infrared technology and cameras to analyze your swing. We should get that, a golf simulator for the office and full work simulators. There you go. So let's see. So we're fools to jump immediately when our boss offered us free coffees and a donut party. What perks would you be excited about to return to your office? So there you go. Do you know what Bitcoins are? I know what Bitcoins are. So what is that what's going to get you jumping to go back to your office? Let it go. What the hell? What, are you ready to go back to the office that bad that you're good to let it go? So this one got categorized into the world of nut job. So listen to this. Scientists are using squirrels to help them develop more agile, smart robots. Engineers from the University of California, Berkeley, say that they've gotten to the bottom of the split-second thinking of acrobats of the animal kingdom, and that are capable of squirrels of lighting up quick reflexes, unable to leap, are able to leap and land to the sturdiest walls and the firmest branches. In a study, the team enticed squirrels with peanuts and high-speed cameras to capture skillful maneuvers as they decided where the leap was based on factors that branch flexibility, the size of the gap that they must overcome. The researchers believe that the breakthrough will lead to advances of artificial intelligence in the coming years. Future nimble machines modeled after the bushy-tailed rodents could search for survivals in the collapsed building of a disaster zone. So there you go. Some things to think about. How many bits for you to dance? Wrong channel, but thanks for asking. So I guess that's the information in a nutshell there. I would have sworn that the bat would have been the acrobatic animal of the animal kingdom. Just something to think about. And does that mean that the future AI is going to chew through my car hose when it actually gets in there? So there you go. Are links allowed? No, I believe the links are turned off, but thanks for asking. It is 50 minutes past the top of the hour. Let's continue talking a little bit more about some other things that are going on inside of the world here. Let's talk about, did you know, the pumpkin spice fad is taking off early this year as Ramen in a Cup brand noodles prepares to launch the most unexpected, unusual varieties of pumpkin spice noodles. The company promises the saucy and not soup-based product will be the quickest, tastiest, and most outlandish pumpkin spice experience ever. The fall-inspired concoction will hit Walmart shelves in October. Just in case, I think that I just threw up a little bit in my mouth. Anyone got some pumpkin spice mouthwash would be the next thing. Some things to think about for sure as we are talking on this lovely, lovely, lovely morning about all this weird stuff going on inside of the world. So let me get Johnny Smalls back in here real quick and let him talk about the motivation memento, because I think that that's always important. So here he is, Motivation Minute, Johnny Smalls. I think he's here. Is he here? Maybe not.
The Motivation Minute is courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. Today's quote has been submitted by Amy. Norman Vincent Peale said, "If you paint in your mind a picture of bright and happy expectations, you put yourself in a condition conducive to your goals." That's a cool quote. It makes so much sense, too, to put yourself in a position to be happy by expecting to be happy, thinking positively, and hoping for good things. I've actually met people who are kind of down in the dumps all the time. Then they wonder why everything just seems to go wrong. I try really hard to move from day to day with a smile on my face. And I'll tell you, sometimes that smile doesn't really belong there. But that smile also turns other things around, and then it all just kind of seems to work out. This has been today's Motivation Minute, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quote can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Okay, thank you, Johnny Smalls, for that one. Really do appreciate it, that's for sure. So there you go, 53 minutes past the top of the hour. Let's start getting into some other stuff real quick before we get you out of here. So let's give over the swamp today because we seem to go way too long. Anyways, no winner for Friday night's Make a Million drawing. Tonight's drawing... The night's drawing will be for a $208 million jackpot or $150.2 million cash payout. No winner for Saturday night's Powerball drawing. Wednesday's drawing will be for $241 million jackpot or $175 million cash payout. So there you go. There you go. There you go. So there you go. Some things to think about for sure. Anyways, have you heard about this? BravoCon is canceled out of the abundance of caution. We are postponing the event until next year. The statement came from Bravo. Oh, BravoCon. Was that a thing? Were you planning on attending it? So I don't know. Just saying. Did you hear about this? Hollywood stars are heading to Texas. Stephen Amell, Zachary Levi, Jared Padalecki are a few of who have moved to Austin, which is in the midst of the economic boom. Medium home prices have skyrocketed 43% over the past year as tech companies have set up shop in the area. Tesla CEO Elon Musk, who is opening up a factory just outside of the city, called Austin a modern-day boomtown. Meanwhile, Austin native Matthew McConaughey said that he has been waiting and wondering when the rest of the country would pick up on the great location. So there you go. If you're looking for some place to move to, maybe Austin is in your future. I don't know. It becomes such a weird thing as of late. Because a lot of people seem to be coming to Florida. A lot of people seem to be going to Texas in regards of where to go because of everybody else being locked down. Hey, and I'm not saying I'm anti or pro or whatever, but it's something to think about. It's something to think about for sure on what you need to do. Anyways, let's continue talking about some other things. Let's talk about some things that happened back on this date. Back in 2017, President Donald Trump declares opioid addiction a national emergency. So that happened back in 2017. Let's talk about some birthdays that are going on today. Drew Lynch turns 30. Lucas Till, 31. Wade Barrett turns 41. Joanna Garcia, 42. Justin Therox, 50. Ricky Smiley, 53. Susan Collins, 59. Antonio Banderas, 61. And Betsy Johnson turned 79 today. So there you go. Some stuff going on. Do you like the Jets? What kind of random question is that? No. I used to like football, but then I stopped caring. Yeah, that's the honesty side of it. So let's talk about some things that you can celebrate today if you're so inclined to do so. National Shapewear Day, National Connecticut Day, National Lazy Day, National S'mores Day, and then World Lion Day. I guess that's something to take a look at if you're so inclined for that. Anyways, let's continue talking about some other things. Before I forget, let me tell you about my friends at the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Know that you're not alone. Whether you have struggled with suicide yourself or you've lost a loved one, know that you're not alone. Hear about personal experiences from people in your local communities whose lives have been impacted by suicide and depression. To find out more information, go to afsp.org. That's afsp.org, or call 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-8255, or text the word TALK to 741-741. So there you go. Anyways, before I forget, for this month, the month of August, we're running a little deal for you. If you wanted to ever take a look at what Safety FM Plus was all about, you can come and hang out with us. Go to safetyfmplus.com. They spell out the plus, Plus. And if you type in the word August under the promo code, you'll get 30 days there. 30 days to try it out. Tell us what you think, what you like, what you hate, what you love about the thing. So if you're so inclined on wanting to do that, you're more than welcome to. Just go to safetyfmplus.com and then type in, like I said, the code word plus. So there you go. Anyways, let me tell you a random joke for today if you need one. Some cause of happiness, whether they go, others whenever they go. Think about that. If you need a phone starter for today, try this one. What is one mystery that you would like to answer to? Who killed JFK? Okay, that was my answer, not yours. Okay, if you need something for the water cooler, try this one. Question: you're nearly 3 times more likely to lose weight if you do this. What is it? Diet with your significant other. Yeah, that normally helps quite a bit. So some things to think about. Anyways, you've been listening to the Rated R Safety Show exclusively on safetyfm.com and on radiobig.fm. Remember, Safety FM is the home of real safety talk. We can't do what we do without you, the most important part of Safety FM and Radio Big, and that is the listener. If I can leave you with a thought for today, I would love to leave you with this one. A mistake that makes you humble is better than an achievement that makes you arrogant. Think about that. A lot of stuff to think about there when it comes to the whole conclusion of the whole thing. Anyways, thank you for taking a listen. Everything going good. I'll be back tomorrow. If you want to come and hang out, I'm going over to Radio Big right now, radiobig.fm. You just type it in. We'll hang out, do some things together, take a listen to some music, see what's charting, and go from there. I know who you are.
Duh.
You know who I am. Love you, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.